Good morning, Mr. Mayor. As I said
How are
last
you?
year, very well, thank you. As I said last year, it's nice to see the second best dressed guy in the state here before us. I think we can agree that the first obligation of government is to protect its citizenry. And
Yes.
I'd like to thank you for being one of those first responders, a former police officer. As a grandson of a former FDNY fire chief, and as a father of a former volunteer fireman, I have to ask, regarding congestion pricing, why is it that our firefighters are not getting the exemption for this congestion pricing? These guys have to move their cars back and forth all day long to get from one firehouse to the other. What's your opinion on that, and what can we do to rectify that injustice?
Well, I think it starts up here. I'm not the creator of the program. People stop me every day, and, people don't know all their lawmakers, but they know their mayor. And I get an earful every day. Congestion pricing is managed by the MTA and the governor. They will make the determination. We put in for several waivers. We were able to secure $100 million for those areas that have an environmental impact. We were able to get waivers for those with disabilities. I would love to have a slew of waivers, not only for firefighters, but TA employees, for teachers, a whole host of people. But I don't make that decision, and I don't make that determination.
Thank you, Mayor. But we need your loud voice when it comes to this issue. We love our teachers. Two of my daughters are New York City public school teachers.
I'm sorry?
I said two of my children are New York City public school teachers, but there's a big difference when it comes to our people who are our first responders. Our firefighters need this exemption because there's delays in getting to a fire because they're having to move their personal vehicles from place to place. Your voice should be louder, if I may suggest, and stronger. Whether you have control, don't have control, it would make a big difference, and I ask you to do that.
Well, there's a technical aspect that the president of the UFA brought to my attention, because they have some type of permission of moving their vehicles, and I think there's a cost-saving measure by allowing them to do that aspect of it. We're going to sit down, we're going to explore it, and we're going to see how we can carry it out. It seems as though there's some type of agreement that firefighters are able to move within the command, that it saves us money if we don't have to buy vans, if we don't have to carry that out. We're going to sit down and see how we can go about implementing it.
I appreciate your answer, Mr. Mayor. I think we're kind of mixing up two different things. These firefighters are actually having to pay out of pocket for congestion pricing to move their vehicles throughout the day. It's causing big delays. I think we're mixing up two different issues.
I don't disagree. I agree with you on that. And as I stated, the UFA president, one of the firefighters union, stopped me. We engaged in a preliminary conversation. I'm looking forward to sitting down and hearing the exact rationale. But once you start opening the door of waivers, police officers are first responders also, our EMTs, there's a whole host of first responders. But we're going to do everything we can to advocate for those waivers when they are appropriate.
Easy solution, just get rid of congestion pricing. Totally inappropriate, especially for us here in local government and suburbanites.
The birth came from up here. The birth didn't come from City Hall. That's your baby.
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to move on to bail reform for a moment. In the governor's State of the State address, she commented how recent changes in New York bail law given judges more discretion, and there was no need to do any adjustments to the bail law. Your opinion, please. Working okay for us?
Listen, I think the advocates for understanding and making a fair bail system was a righteous fight. Now we should do an analysis to see what are the unintended consequences of that, and one of them is discovery. When I speak with my district attorneys, they tell us we need to have a closer examination of discovery to make sure that we're not getting any unintended consequences. And I respect the DAs who are calling for that, and we need to re-examine that, and I thank the governor for looking at that re-examination.
Right, but again, in her speech, she actually said she didn't see a need to do any adjustments, and I think we've kind of examined this over the past few years. It's failed and failed miserably. I think it's about time we all get together and do the right thing and do this big adjustment to bail reform.
The number one issue for me that we're seeing when I speak with Commissioner Tish and Chief LaPetrie, who does our crime analysis, is that we are having a problem with habitual, violent, repeated offenders. When you have 570 people.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.